Do you want painkillers or vitamins? Might not sound like much of a difference, but it actually makes all of the difference in the world. People come to me in a crisis or when they've got very tight deadlines that they're working to. It adds so much pressure to the coaching work that I do that I like to get in front of the 8-ball and say to people, well, do you know what? At some point you're going to want to be able to make video content. You're going to need to be able to show up authentically to help improve your leadership reach and impact that you have. So why not do it now when the pressure's not on, when you've got the bandwidth to think about it and you're not dealing with a crisis or the tight schedule from trying to get a deadline met for some other opportunity that is so important. Authentic leadership is all about showing up in front of other people, building trust at scale by being transparent and consistent over time. But how to do it? I mean, there's two things that really bear in this equation here. One of them, one of the considerations is the cost of content creation. The other one is the time that it takes people to do it. Before we even address either of those, though, the feedback I hear from people most consistently is that they don't think their story is worth sharing and they don't like how they look and sound on video. So they don't really know where to start and they don't particularly feel that comfortable about doing it. And then it costs money and it takes time. So you know what, we just get somebody else to do it, we're not going to bother. It is such an unnecessary paradigm to fall into. And so rather than waiting until the crisis has hit and you have to do it and calling me and asking for the equivalent of painkillers to help this thing to go away, much better to come to me and say, hey, we've got some time here. I just need some vitamins. I need some ideas that are going to supplement and help the way I'm showing up at the moment. If you've done media training in the past and have learnt the performative way to show up on camera and you feel still uncomfortable about how you look and sound, even though you've kind of got the speech pattern right and your breathing techniques are right and your posture's right and you use the right phrases in all sorts of things, you might feel like you've got the performance techniques right, but still there's something missing from how you show up. And this is where we can really help change the way you connect with people on camera. It is about being comfortable and confident, but having a confidence that's built not from title, reputation, authority, and media training, but having a confidence that is just built on who you are and what your story is and the fact that you can connect. You are enough to connect with other people. It doesn't need to be any other magic formula or magic fairy dust sprinkled to make it work for you. This is all about leveraging the capability that you have with your smartphone in your pocket right now, within reach. Smartphone storytelling, everything I've been doing for 30 years in mainstream media, as a nightly news reporter in the Crime Round, as a presenter of documentaries, I was even a one-time news presenter on the desk, but most of the time, and I did start as a sound recorder, camera operator, but most of the time we spent reporting live from crime scenes, courthouses across Australia. And what I saw time and time again, that good storytelling on video is about an emotional connection with the audience. And it's about doing three things technique-wise. It's putting yourself in the story like I'm doing now. It's about capturing the moments as they happen around you and including interviews with other people. Now imagine if you could do all of that just with your smartphone. No other equipment, no lights, tripods, microphones, and no script. Guess what? That's exactly what I coach people how to do all over the world. C-suite leaders across Europe, North America, Australia, other parts of Asia. I have been working in this space, coaching people how to show up authentically for the last 7 years. I've been running this business full-time for the last 2.5 when I left mainstream media. I have a YouTube channel called The Unretired Reporter where you can see all of the content, well, some of the content that I've produced just with my smartphone so that you can actually see what it looks like. How good does it sound? Can you really make broadcast quality video now just with your smartphone? Absolutely yes. People are making documentaries and movies. There is no reason why you can't be taking advantage of this opportunity as well. It's about just understanding how to do it when you're time poor, because no one's got time to be a video journalist or to add that to their busy schedule. That's not what this is about. This is literally about kind of redeeming, salvaging the moments that you have, literally the seconds, the minutes that you've got in a busy schedule, seeing the value of capturing the moment, putting yourself in the story, gathering reaction from other people as the moments are happening, and doing it just with your smartphone, recognizing the value of that not only for your social media content, for videos for your website, but also for strategic internal comms. For C-suite leaders, being able to communicate with high net worth individuals, other investors, donors, people who contribute, stakeholders, let's call them, the need and the value of being able to create content that might only have an audience of one, but it might be recorded when you're traveling the world and visiting certain locations, and to be able to send that material to people immediately for zero cost, for just the mindset of a storyteller, for just having this intentionality and seeing the value of it. This will replace the time that you would normally spend writing emails, for goodness sake, instead of spending, a long time getting the tone and the emotion and the connection right in 12 to 15 paragraphs on a long email. Record a 1-minute video, send it to them. Actually see a shorter message that takes them less time to read, you less time to write, and it has a much stronger connection than both of those things. This is the storyteller mindset. This is why it is one of the most valuable tools for leaders. It has been for quite a while, but particularly now in an AI world where showing up authentically is now the big question mark. Is that really them speaking? And goodness knows we've seen so many examples recently, and they won't be the only ones, of leaders failing the authenticity test. And it can damage reputation really quickly. And it's so unnecessary, it's so easy to avoid. It is all about getting the authenticity right. And it won't surprise anybody that showing up authentically is easy to do. But it is crucial, and it is easy to get it wrong as well. And so let's have a conversation around how you can leverage the broadcast capability just of your smartphone to change how you show up on the planet, both for social media, but also strategic internal comms. I have a program where I coach people all over the world to speak on camera authentically, comfortably, in a way that means they won't hate how they look and sound anymore. It's not like you're going to suddenly, be thinking about a career in movies or TV. Maybe you will. But it's actually just about no longer having that barrier, that mental barrier of I don't like doing this, I don't want to do it, resisting it, avoiding it, getting other people to do it. Because friends, those are the biggest mistakes that I see people making quite regularly. Whatever level of leadership you might have, whatever position you have in the organisation, whether you're a founder, an entrepreneur, an executive, we believe that our story is not worth sharing. And that's a pretty big thing. What I'm doing today, my results kind of speak for themselves. My work speaks for itself. That's the most important part of what I'm doing. It's not about who I am. Let the marketing team tell the story of what we've done. Friends, it just doesn't work. And it's an unnecessary limiting belief to hold that view. People want to hear from you. Your story today is worth sharing. Following on from that first limiting belief, my story's not worth, I don't have a story worth sharing. The second part is they decide to stay quiet. They don't make videos, even internal ones for their organisation. Second mistake they make is they let other people, they stay quiet is the second one. The third one is they let other people do the storytelling, they outsource it. And the reason why that's such a big mistake is because when other people tell your story, two problems can happen. Either the story is diluted, it loses authenticity, it doesn't connect as well, it doesn't land as well because it's somebody else talking about you. Or worse than that, if it's other people telling a story to your competitors, to your clients, if it's your competitors telling stories to your leads, to the people in your ecosystem, if it's the people that want your job, building their profile in a more impressive way than you're able to. Big mistake, doesn't have to come to that. This is why your personal brand is worth so much. It is not about kind of creating vacuous video content for social media platforms so that you can build a a large audience. I mean, if that's what you're wanting to achieve, you can certainly try and do it as well. This content creation will work for you that way, but much better to measure success in terms of the connections that are made. And that might be a vast number of connections, but it might also only be a small number of connections that are high quality with the right people, that you've reached your audience. You've been able to create those connections. So that's a little bit of a story for you around smartphone storytelling. This is why I do this coaching. You'll see on the rest of the channel here, the Unretired Reporter, that I've got a lot of stories here about why I do what I do now, how I love it now. I mean, some people have asked me, particularly after major events like the Bondi shooting or even the stabbing at Bondi, do I miss being a journalist, and what are the things that I miss about that? And I certainly think I appreciate the years that I was able to work in mainstream media. They taught me a lot, and it means that I can now help other people in so many ways. But it is vastly more interesting working with all sorts of different leaders, entrepreneurs, executives, founders, helping them to see the value of their story. And this is where it all actually started for me, was seeing the need with different charity organisations that don't necessarily want to put the spotlight on themselves. They kind of think their work is enough, it speaks for itself, and the right people will come forward to make contributions. And really, at the end of the day, the better their storytelling is, the greater their impact and the greater the work and the results they can achieve with the money that they're given. And so that's where it kind of started as a side hustle while I was still at Channel 7 as a news reporter. And the need and the appetite was just so strong that I then expanded it and started doing it for C-suite leaders and others. Anybody who has and wants to improve their personal brand. Anybody who wants to have a conversation around the value of a personal brand. This is the place that I love to dabble in now. So the Unretired Reporter, yes, 100% out of mainstream media now. And even though you can take the journo out of the newsroom, away from mainstream media, you can never take the story out of the journo. So the Unretired Reporter. Let's chat. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Evan Batten is my name, the Unretired Reporter. And direct message me there. I'd love to have a conversation with you wherever you are in the world. If you've got a smartphone within reach, we can do this. Let's amplify your impact and not just build a great legacy, but let's look to build an amazing dynasty for you.